Hello guys, today we're going to do a quick UDK tutorial on adding a toggleable light into UDK. This can be used for flashlights or just roof lights if you want to have them switching on and off. It's got many uses. I'm just going to jump in and show you how it's done. The first thing that you want to do is just create a little room like I have here. It's just a blank level. I just create a little box and I put some materials on the walls so you can see the full effectiveness of the lights once they're in. Okay, so you're going to want to open up the content browser here, and you're going to want to clear the search bar if you have anything in it and limit your search to static meshes. And I advise just searching for pickup because you can get some really cool static meshes. What we're actually looking for now is something to represent a light switch. I'm going to pick this one because I know that this is a pretty small static mesh that resembles something like a light switch. Now I'm just going to get this into position by going into my 4 views here. Just going to go into my top down view. I'm just going to get this into position in roughly the center of this wall. I'm just going to press space and rotate it so it's flat against the wall. Press space again to get back to these movement options. Just going to put it nicely against the wall so it's not sticking out. And then we're going to go back into our normal view, and there's our little static mesh that now will represent our light switch. Okay, so the next thing that we need to add in is a trigger. Okay, so we right click anywhere and we come down here to add actor, add trigger. I'll just take a moment. Oh, there it is, spawned right in the middle. Now I'm just going to position this roughly over the static mesh that I added in. About there, and I'm just going to drag it down until it's about the right height. The static mesh is pretty high off the ground. Actually, I'll just drag that down quite a bit. Just going to bring this down slightly more, and that's good. Okay, now with the trigger selected, you're going to want to press F4, go into the properties of the trigger, go into the cylinder component, and change these values. I'm going to change them to 80 and 80. That's pretty large. It's a big enough area for the player to walk into, just so they can't avoid it and that they don't have to be searching for the trigger in a small corner of the room. Just make it nice and large so they can actually walk into it and it will actually detect them. There's nothing worse than a trigger that doesn't work. Okay, so now with the trigger selected, you're going to want to go into Kismet, so just click on Kismet, and you're going to want to right click and add a new event using trigger touched, and then right click again and add a new event using trigger used. We have the trigger touched in here to play a little announcement to tell the player to press E to actually turn on and off the light. That's just some user friendliness there. We're just going to add in that now. Right click, go to new action, come down to voice/announcement, play announcement, and then attach that up to the trigger touched. And just click on the announcement, come down to its properties here. In here you see announcement text. You can just add in that. I'm just going to press E to toggle light. Okay, there we are. And I'm just going to select our trigger touched, and I'm going to come down into its properties. We're going to want to come to the sequence event here and open that drop down and change the max trigger count to 0 so that this event can happen a multiple amount of times so that they just don't hit it once and it never plays again. If they leave it, we want it to be able to play again. Okay, and the next thing we're going to need is a point light toggleable, and to get one of those we're going to right click on the map here, right click, we're going to go add actor and add light. Sorry, that was a player start. You can just delete that. Right click, add actor, add point light. Now this isn't good enough yet. This is just a standard point light. It's not actually toggleable. It can't be switched on and off at the activation of a trigger. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on it and come down here to convert light, come over to point light and come down here to point light toggleable. You see here, you can see this little chain that appears beside it. This means that it's a toggleable light. You can get these for the other types of light also. If you're going for something like a flashlight, it's good to use a spotlight toggleable. It really creates the effect very nicely. So with your light selected, you're going to go back into Kismet, and you're going to want to right click and come here and new object variable using point light toggleable 0. That's it there. This object variable now represents this. And what you're going to want to drop in now is a toggle block. So to get that, we right click, go to new action, come down here to toggle, select toggle, hook that up to the used. To turn it, to toggle it, you're going to want to toggle it so it can be activated to switch it on and off. And you're going to want to target the light. So the light is targeted by the toggle block, which is activated by the trigger used, this trigger. Now you're going to want to select your trigger here, and you're going to want to come down into the sequence event used, and you're going to want to turn off aim to interact. This is so that the player doesn't have to be staring directly at the trigger to turn it on and off. This is just to make sure that it can be activated easily, and again that they don't have to be searching in a corner to find the trigger or the sweet spot to actually activate the trigger. So that is actually all of the Kismet that we need to do, so we can just close Kismet. Now one point is, if we're using announcements, we need to set a game type. Announcements will not play without a game type, so we're just going to go to view here, view, world properties, come down to game type and click down, and we're going to set UT game and UT deathmatch as our game type. And I think that's about ready to go. So we're just going to hit, going to do a quick build on the lighting because we've added in the light. That's all good. There we are. One other thing that I did forget is go back into Kismet, and with the trigger used selected, you're going to want to go down into its properties and change its max trigger count to 0 also, so that it can be activated a multiple number of times. Okay, so this should all work now. Press it once, and press it again, and we have our toggleable light. Thank you guys for watching, and please check out more videos on the Online Design Teacher YouTube channel.